Hi guys, welcome back to another Transformers toy review. We're looking at a third-party Transformer piece this time. It's from Transform Element. It's called Black Widow. I think this is their first of a set of kind of legend scale Beast Wars figures. So this is the first one, which is Black Arachnia. I ordered this one off is it AliExpress? I think it was, yeah. I can't remember how much it was. It was around about between 20 and 30. So they're not cheap figures, but they're super detailed. I mean, you can tell by the size, obviously, of my hand here and the figure next to it. They are pretty small and they are legend size figures, but the detail on them is pretty good. I'll just give you a close up and we'll go through the figure first of all. Don't know. Get this out of the way a second. So yeah, so the face here, if I can just get it to focus properly, is painted gold and black. The eyes are painted black, and this rotates, and even on the back you've got kind of little dots in here as well. That's all done really nice. You can look all the way up, she can, and she can look down. Can't move to the side, but the head can move all the way around like that. There was something I remember, some bit of bother about the chest on this one, and about it going to be soft plastic, and it's just normal plastic. It's softer than the rest, but they're not made, you know, although they are technically kind of breasts, if you like, they're not like squidgy, or they haven't done anything gimmicky with them at all. They're just that. And there's kind of gold paint on it. It goes down and looks like spider legs. The arms themselves are also not quite a bronzy colour, but you've got this kind of bronzy colour with the gold and green. And it's done really well actually, and you've got the black and gold on here and little holes in here for you to peg the weapon. The legs are kind of softer plastic, but they are quite sharp at the end, and you will have to be careful with these. You know, if you do bend them the wrong way, they could kind of snap off potentially, I guess. There's no waist articulation on her. You've got this kind of groin piece or crotch piece, which has got these kind of little eyes on them, and you can actually swap that out, but mine's kind of really stuck in there. I've not been able to do that. And you've got the legs down here, and they move nicely. They move up all the way back, out to the side, either way. You can get a little kind of swivel in here. The legs are double jointed, so they kind of go all the way back like that. So you can get lots of different poses, and you've even got a bend there at the shin. And the shin, the legs down the bottom here are all painted gold as well, and that's done very well as well. The feet here, I think these are painted purple. I don't think it's the heel is stuck in one position, but the foot moves forward and back. So you can get some fantastic poses out of her, you know, with the head and everything being able to move around. The arms can swivel around, and the shoulder pieces and actually move around as well. So you just have to be careful that they don't come around with you. And the arm here, down at the bottom here, rotates around. It's just on a bull peg there. As I mentioned, no waist articulation. And then that's the kind of view from the back here. So it's pretty tidy. There is some parts forming to the figure, so we will go through that. In terms of accessories, there aren't kind of leftover pieces. This is her kind of like signature weapon, which is kind of reminiscent of the toy version. She had this kind of gun, which was kind of almost came out of her sort of back end really, and the same sort of thing with this one. It just pegs in here like that, and she holds it absolutely fine. You can move it around and hold it. It's no problem with it at all. It fits in there really nice. Just to show you the box as well. It's quite a shiny material, sort of cardboardy sort of plastic with this sort of sheen on it. You can see it sort of on one side you've got her in a robot mode. It did get a bit squished, but nothing was damaged inside. Black Widow on the side, and then on the back they've got it transformed in the spider mode, but it's actually transformed incorrect, so it's a weird one. And then it was in a plastic clamshell, which I've kind of removed out, and then you get your instructions. I'll just show you some of the spare bits and pieces that kind of come with her. So this is the other kind of crotch piece that I said about, which is just plain black. It just pegs in there. So that does feel like it's die cast or something like that. It doesn't feel like a proper plastic. And then you've got the instruction manual here, which it takes a bit of working out really. It's not completely obvious. There's two pieces that peg on the spider mode, but you see the end result there is what you get. So it does, and these bits here, they're kind of part swapping pieces, which end up being pegged on the leg. I guess you could if you wanted to have them on her in robot mode, but then they're going to be sort of hanging out from here really. So if you wanted to not lose them and you weren't worried about what she looked like on the other side, you could peg them on either side of the leg like that if you're worried about losing them, like that. So, and from the front it doesn't look too bad. It's only when you come around to the back here it looks a wee bit odd. So there you go, so take these bits out. Right, so that's her in a robot mode. Very good. I'll just do a quick size comparison. I've got Black Arachnia and Tarantulas here, who obviously the same mould of the original toy here. So I'll just bring him in. So I've got Tarantulas in his robot mode, so that'll do for the kind of robot comparison. And I've got Black Arachnia in her spider mode, so we'll do that. So I'll just bring in Tarantulas here. So there you go, so they are side by side, and you can see there's quite a size difference. Yeah, so it definitely is its own scale. I guess, with them being small like this and the Beast Wars being small, you could potentially have them alongside not Beast Wars characters, but your kind of regular Chug characters like this, because these ones in the cartoon were always much smaller, so it would be believable that they would be that little bit much smaller. I think so. I think that works in my opinion. So you could have them alongside your Titans Returns or your Siege stuff if you wanted to. Entirely up to you. Right, next up we're just gonna get her transformed and take a look at Black Arachnia in her spider mode. Right then, let's get this started. So you've got the weapon here, so you take these bits off. These are going to come in handy for the spider bit, so I'm just going to put this off to one side. This will come in handy as well, but we'll see that a bit later, as are the other two bits. So you've got those there, and then you get hold of the figure. So what I'm going to do is just try and follow the instructions just to see how good they are. So on the instructions it shows you lifting up this chest piece here like that. So you've got then kind of two dots which are kind of just underneath that, so you kind of lift that in behind like that, and then it shows you lifting this section out like that, and then moving this sort of spider head from underneath here, which is on a ball joint. Once you pull it out, it looks like it's stuck out by it quite a bit, but you can then just push it back in. So apologies if my camera sort of goes out of focus. And then the little kind of tarantula bits, quite tricky to get out, so you might need a little hand with that. Yeah, so this is where it's a bit tricky, just trying to could do with a finer one really. Ah, there we go. So I think I've got this bit out here. Okay, so they're like little claws at the front there. So that's the first bit that we've got done. Next up, it kind of shows this piece here swiveling around like that. So then it still shows all of this still open like that. In fact, it kind of shows it like that, and then shows the arms right out to the side like this, with these bits kind of twirled around as well. So we're trying to match up as best as possible. And then the next step in the instructions shows the spider like this, but then with the so just seeing if that's right. Yeah, and then shows the shows the almost the head bit up here, but with these leg bits almost completely round. So it shows them going like that. Yeah, like that, I think. And then this bend comes in here as well. So the legs are on ball pegs, so don't worry about that too much. So I'll try and get this right. So this bit comes around like that. That bit wants to come around like that. So I think it's something like that. I think the head then rotates around the other way, so you've got kind of these bits on the back here, I think. So it's a little while since I've transformed this lady, so try it again. So it's not an exact science with this one. You do have to kind of mess around with it a little bit, so you get the idea that all this bit's all kind of crunched up. And then if we come around underneath the spider here, these bits will come round and they fold into each other like that. And then from the instructions, it's like almost like they're sort of over the top of each other like that. Almost like the legs fit into that little gap there. So we'll just fold these in all the way, and then we can kind of get it a little bit better into place. But it looks like essentially they just kind of fold in underneath there, and we'll just have to sort out the legs, sort out everything else out, but generally they just kind of slot in underneath there. And then it shows these bits coming in. So this will help tie everything up, because you've got two bits, one that pegs into the leg and the other bit that clips onto the leg. So it kind of, you kind of know where you should have everything set then. So peg that into there. Yeah, and see that one's pegs it over that part of the leg there. So we know we've got that bit right. And then same on the other side. Just going to go round, grab this other piece here. And just peg that in. The instructions when you're doing it first time round don't really sort of make a lot of sense, because you're not sure which way everything should sort of bend and everything else like that. So because it's quite a dainty figure, you're a little bit, oh, not quite sure where everything should go. But then once you've done it, well, this is my second time of transforming it, so then just move this bit back here. Then that should fit in around there. So you kind of see how everything's starting to shape up. It's not quite there yet, but nearly. The next step on the instructions, just looking at it, is yeah, you lift this bit up, which is already kind of mostly lifted up, it looks like. Oh, they're on about replacing the other piece, so that was a bit I couldn't actually do. So up to you if you want to do that. Next it shows this piece here, and it shows that bit slotting in at the back here. So there's like a little slot either side of the legs, from what I can see, the purple bit in the legs here. So it looks like it just slots in either side, so you might have to kind of pull this apart a little bit. Oh, I see. That makes sense. It kind of hooks over this bit here like that, and then you kind of fold it in on itself, and it should then peg into place. This is where you realise if you've got everything kind of lined up properly or not. See, I've kind of roughly got everything pegged up right, but you can see there's a few sort of slight bits where they aren't quite in place properly. So you just have to kind of mess around until you get them in a kind of best position possible. It doesn't look like these kind of peg in anywhere, they just kind of fall into place at the back here. So it's nearly done. Obviously, because I haven't replaced that, you've got the other set of eyes there, so that is a slight issue. And then you've got this bit here which will go underneath, and that just clips on underneath here. So there's a little clip here, just clip it in there like that, and then you can move these bits around here as well. So then you've got your spider mode, which is pretty good. It's pretty good. The only little nitpick is that these arms and stuff don't seem to slot into place anywhere, so they are loose, but it does hold together all right, and it, you know, it looks fantastic as a spider. Detail on it's pretty good. All the gold looks really nice. The legs look like proper spider legs. Yeah, so the legs look like proper spider legs. Everything is alright. I mean, the back's a little bit messy, I guess, but it's not too hateful. And then if you bring it alongside the original Black Arachnia, you can see there is a real difference. But what I like about this one is the proportions, in terms of you've got this small bit here, and then this sort of back end of the spider really sort of bulbs out, and you can move. Oh, that's me, I pegged that bit from here. It just pegs in here. It's underneath. You do have to have the thing pulled back to do that. So there is a little bit of room for the head there. And this bit moves forward and back. And the legs don't really move. So there isn't a great deal of movement in the spider mode, but I don't think you need it quite as much. This one's probably got a little bit more movement because these bits move around here. But I really like the look of this one. If you can get hold of it, I definitely recommend it. It's age 16 and up. I think that's probably because of the size of it and everything else. It's definitely more of a collector's one rather than a toy kids are going to play around with. People that are into the old Beast Wars toys, I can definitely see them getting into these guys, and there seems to be more and more Beast Wars stuff coming out by the moment. And you know, if they were going to release more of these, which I think they are, I think they can do a Megatron and a Rat Trap and a few others, I think. I'm definitely in for them. So yeah, I recommend them if you can get your hands on them. Anyway, that's it for now, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.